Mega Man 3 has the Monsteropolis Corporation combined with the Light Robotics Foundation to create a conglomerate in the form of the Gamma Mining Company. Because of this, 8 new branches had to be built in various locations, like outer space, to mine minerals and ores to create the peacekeeping robot Gamma. Then they went rogue, because of course they did. Let's meet these fine gentlemen. Magnet Man is the kind of leader that you look at him and know exactly what he's about. He's got a magnetic personality and has good management skills, but he's inflexible, has no sense of direction, and tends to ruin things he touches due to his magnetic ability, and also the fact that he's clumsy. He's stationed in a facility that has a lot of magnets and electricity, probably because it's his element. He's hired the Springer's big brother, Big Springers. Shotman underwent some training and now he's new Shotman. Magflies fly about patrolling like good security bots, and Peter Cheese stroll about, new and not so sure about what to do. It's important to note that from this point on, very few Robot Masters hire guys that don't seem to be out of their depth and don't really belong. Those guys exist, but they're fewer and more far between than last time. Anyway, Magnet Man is good at managing his resources, yet he's hired both really cool guys and some total goobers who seem to be doing the bare minimum. He's an okay boss. Hardman is what happens when you judge a book by his cover. You expect a big dude to be all brawn, no brain, but he's actually got average intelligence and is known to treat everyone as equal to him, including his enemies. His only real downside is that he's a man of few words and as such tends to keep to himself, even if he has important information. He set up base in a mountain, and also underground, like Big Brother Gutsman. And like Big Brother Gutsman, he's hired the Met DXs, which do the job fairly well. He's also got Monkings jumping around acting like little shits like actual monkeys. Along with them, there's a Pickaxe Man riding around in a bulldozer. Hammer Joe, who is just Sniper Joe, but who's got a little more buff since last time we saw him. Have Su Bees, who are just robot bees that sick their children on you. There's also Bicky. This dude has a dumb name and is pretty easy to take out. His only real redeeming trait is that he's big. Hardman is smart, but he's not a genius, and he knows it. So he does what he can when he can, and asks his workers to do the same. He's a good boss. Top Man is a cool dude, but that's both a blessing and a curse. He's a smooth operator, but also cocky. He can talk to Wily directly about plans, but he's also a little long-winded. He's on an alien planet. Why? Because he's good at mining ores on other planets. Duh. Anyway, he's in a jungle-type location, and he's hired Komasaburo to be a nuisance in tight corridors, Mechakero, who jump around and gets in your way, Met DXs to do their very best and get love and support, Pickaxe Men in their bulldozers, doing the best they can, but not like the Mets, and for the higher-ups, he's brought in Tamas, giant cats who do what most cats do, which is cough up hairballs and let their fleas and ticks do the heavy lifting. Top Man is an okay boss because he's cool, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. Shadow Man should be a cool boss. He's a robot ninja. He can use actual ninjutsu, but he's incredibly shallow, impulsive, and unfortunately, it's exactly those thoughts that get in the way of him making good decisions. He's stationed in a facility that has a beautiful waterfall, but that's pretty much it. He saw his brothers getting some workers and decided that those would fit him and his aesthetic as well. Those guys are unfortunately New Shotman, the Pickaxe guy with the bulldozer, Peter Chi, and Mechakero. Remember what I said earlier about these Robot Masters choosing what's right for them? Yeah, some of them don't know shit. He's got walking bombs, which are grenades with sentience. Grenades aren't ninja weapons. I mean, there are smoke bombs, but they don't look like fucking pineapples. He's also got parasus and yembos, which are fine, I guess. Ninjas were known in mythology to fly on gusts of wind with a cloth, and this is almost that in Dragonflies? I guess. What's worth noting is that despite a lot of these guys going through the motions, a select few are very excited to be working here. The walking bombs are ready to charge at you and explode upon impact. The Pattersues look determined to just crash your party slowly, and the Yambos, despite being dragonflies, still charge at you. In the end, Shadow Man has made more bad calls than good, but it's clear he's treating his workers well enough. He's an okay boss. Remember Man? Well, Sparckman is way cooler, apparently. To be fair, he's much friendlier to his brothers and will even help out with their problems and even give them a charge when they need it. Unfortunately, he's also pretty scatterbrained, forgetful, and doesn't focus his power in places where he needs to. His branch is a power plant because of course it is, and he's hired a few familiar faces. We know Peter G, Hammer Joe, and that goddamn pickaxe man and a bulldozer, but he's also brought in Elekins, who are very fitting of the theme and are very enthusiastic about working there. Sparckman is friendly, but maybe a little too friendly and can't properly see the vision of the company, so he's an okay boss. Snake Man is exactly what his name is. Kinda. He's tenacious, shrewd, intelligent, and likes the thrill of chasing an opponent to a corner before striking them down. But is he a good boss? I mean, I guess. He takes the whole snake motif to the most logical extreme, and his building is nothing but snakes on the walls, floors, and ceilings, and also the outside, I think. He's only hired one familiar face, the Hammer Joe, and everyone else is fresh. Or should I say, they're green? Anyway, these guys include bomb flyers, bubukans, dadas, a single jamasi, and patans. Quite the variety, but they don't really fit in except for big snakies, which are mini bosses, and petite snakies. They may not do much other than shoot you and move the ground, but they're still very memorable faces. For hiring people that seem pretty content working in a place that's almost all snakes, Snake Man is the best boss. Gemini Man is overconfident, conceited, self-centered, and just all-around prick. He likes looking at himself so much, he made his facility in the Arctic, in a cave full of ice and crystals, where he can see himself. It's entirely possible his employees take the job much more seriously than him. Well, maybe not the Poles, they seem more interested in attacking whoever disturbs their slumber, but they sure can't take a hit, the little babies. On the outside of the base, we got Nitrons and Bomber Pepes, who both seem pretty intent on doing their job proper. And inside, we once again see Mechakeros, Yambos, and Biki, but we also get to meet Pen Pen and the Pen Pen Maker, and Gyoraibo. Despite their appearances, they all seem to know they've got a bad boss and are trying to pick up the slack. Gemini is indeed the worst boss, but he's hired some pretty good people. Needleman is intelligent and good at fighting, but that's all he's got working for him. He wants so desperately to be loved by others, by his brothers, by his creators, but his prickly exterior keeps people away. He's felt so isolated for so long that he's developed both a complex about it, and his personality has turned sour because of it. He pushes people away not out of fear that he'll hurt them, but because he knows he will. It's not in his nature, it's just something that happens, and he can't stop it. Needleman has to live with this, unable to give someone a handshake or even a smile, because he's so full of anger and he's got nothing else left. So he set up base in a mining facility outside a city, almost like he wants to be close to people, anyone, as he possibly could without hurting them. He's hired Biki, Hammer Joe, Yambos, but he's also got Howdy Harry hanging out, a poor guy who's got a similar situation to his boss. Perhaps if they really got to know each other, they wouldn't feel so isolated and want to rebel against the company. Maybe they can finally make friends with someone who knows what it's like to be so alone. So Needleman is a good boss. Mega Man 3's Robot Masters, I'll just say, are some of my favorites, but some of these people are not good bosses. And I'm only assuming Mega Man 4 is about to have some really, really bad bosses.